Greetings, YouTube crew, and welcome back to my channel. Sometimes I can surprise myself with how nerdy I can really be, and it's not necessarily something that I am particularly proud of. But anyways, I figured today we would talk about tattoos and get back on the tattoo subject because I know that there are a lot of people out there that are curious about a lot of the different aspects that come with getting a tattoo. I really want to get back into doing my creepy videos and the scary videos for you guys because that's what I enjoy the most. If you don't already know by now, if you can't tell by now. But I haven't had time to do those lately because, you know, this certain thing called life kind of got in the way. So, you know, there's that. All that aside, for today's video, I wanted to go over a few different ways to kind of help you better deal with the pain that comes with getting a tattoo.
You won't look good after this, man.
Thanks, man.
So ready?
Yeah. Ah, Kelly Clarkson!
If you haven't gotten a tattoo, I feel like this might be beneficial for you to kind of better mentally prepare yourself. And also, if you have a few tattoos and you just haven't kind of figured out a way to manage the pain, maybe there's some insight here for you today, maybe not. If there is, you're welcome. If there isn't, well, you know, I tried. So a lot of the different methods that I'm going to be relaying to you guys today, just keep in mind that everybody's body and mental state are completely different. Everybody will deal with pain in different ways. So some of the ways that I have for you guys today might not necessarily work for you in particular, but it also might work for someone else. So, you know, it's just a matter of trial and error and trying these things out for yourself to see if it is something that works for you. So the first method I want to go over plays a big part in any tattoo, whether it's a painful spot on your body or not. And it doesn't sound like it will do much, but trust me, this is where a good majority of the pain you feel comes from, and that is your mental state. If, for one, you're going into your tattoo session without a healthy mental state or a positive mindset, then believe it or not, that's gonna affect the way the needle hits your skin. Like, it's gonna feel a lot more painful, and it's gonna feel like it's gonna take forever to get through that pain, but it's easier said than done. You know, you go in with this strong headspace and you're like, I'm gonna get this done, we're gonna knock this out, it's gonna look beautiful. And you get there, and as soon as the needle hits your skin, you start retracting those thoughts. I don't know how I'm gonna get through another 2 hours of this painful misery, and why did I do this to myself? Why am I here? My mom's gonna hate me, I hate me. You know, things along those lines. So it's a really hard thing to explain, but trust me, it makes a world of a difference. If you're not necessarily having like a good mental health day, think of the tattoo session more of like a therapeutic session for you and not something that's gonna be extremely painful. Disclaimer, for all you that want to disprove every one of these steps, like, it doesn't always work for everybody, honey. It doesn't always work. If that is not something that helps you in particular, then there are other different methods you can try. For instance, number 2. Does anybody else chuckle when someone says number 2? Because you're thinking about poo? Just me? Cool. So number 2 is another method that actually really works for me when I can't seem to get past that mental phase, and that is finding a distraction for yourself during your tattoo. And it varies from place to place depending on where your tattoo is being done or what area of the body you're having it done on. The distraction that I use is kind of weird because it ties in with the whole mental thing, but basically, if it's in an area that I can see, I will literally stare at the needle going into my skin the entire time. And for some odd reason, that makes the tattoo way less painful. I honestly believe that's what's gotten me through a good majority of all my tattoos because I was able to see them. Obviously, there are places on your body that you won't be able to see, so this method might not work for all of your tattoos. You don't necessarily have to use that method that I mentioned by staring at the needle, like actually going into your skin. If you feel like that makes it more painful for you, there are different options. I mean, you can listen to your music, you can watch TV shows, you can watch a movie. If it helps you to, I don't know, talk to your tattoo artist and tell them a story, tell them about your week and what's been going on in your life. If that helps you get your mind off the pain, then go with that instead. Moving on to number 3. This is another one, yet again, that ties in kind of with the mental state that I mentioned in the first tip, the first pro tip. And that is basically finding a good breathing pattern. I can't think of a good technical term for it, but it's basically finding a way to calm yourself down and keep a level head. You can do different increments, whichever works better for you. I find that counting in increments of 10 works wonders. So the outline is going to be your most painful part of the tattoo. A lot of people will have different opinions. This is just what a vast majority of people have agreed upon, so that's what we're gonna stick with, okay? We don't need to know everybody's goddamn story. I'm sorry, that was uncalled for. So the minute the needle hits your skin, you start inhaling or exhaling, whichever feels right to you. Start from 10 and count down all the way to 1. Usually by the time you hit 1 or before you hit 1, the needle has stopped. So like a tattoo artist, unless they are making a really long line, singular line, will not go for longer than 10 seconds on a line. This is most of the time. Again, this does not apply to all situations. Take a deep breath in and take a deep breath out and get back to counting.
Count it up, count it up, count it up, count it.
If in the process of doing this you still feel like the pain is almost unbearable, but not yet that unbearable, it might be beneficial for you to have something or someone to squeeze. That will, in addition to the counting down, help you manage the pain a little bit better. I honestly forgot what number we're on. I think we're on number 4, so I'm gonna go ahead and say number 4. I highly suggest you get your tattoo in the early afternoon to the evening hours, as early as possible, really. If you wait to get it done at night, your body will be way more tired than it initially is in the beginning of the day. Not only is it beneficial for your body not to feel that much pain, more than you would usually feel, but it also kind of gives you an idea of how your body is going to react once you get home and everything has settled. So what I mean by this is you're getting it when your body is extremely tired, and so the first thing you do when you get home is you want to go to sleep. And depending on the area that you get it in, sleep can either be extremely uncomfortable or when everything has settled, the throbbing will not let you sleep. So the earlier in the day that you get it, the more you will allow your body to kind of adjust. The smallest things matter the most. So last, we have numero 5. I don't know what that was. Okay. Number 5 is work your way up. Don't set yourself up for failure. Don't get yourself in over your head. Start small and work your way up. I mean, you can be as stubborn as you want, and if you want to go in and get your back piece done as your first tattoo, go for it, man. It's all you. You got this, but you're probably not gonna live through that. You're just gonna look like a coward when you're screaming like a little girl on that tattoo table. What it felt like getting my knee tattooed.
Oh, you fucker! Oh, I'm sorry. That's just your job. Huh? No.
True story. Obviously, before you go and start placing tiny little tattoos all over your body, you want to logically think out what you are going to get in the future so that it doesn't clash with your ideas and your dreams of your tattoos. I don't know. Your body, you do whatever you want. Ink your whole body. I don't give a mother fluck. All that being said, I did want to give you guys a few tips that go hand in hand with all of these methods, and this is just kind of like tattoo etiquette, and that is, do not show up drunk or high or on drugs because number one, nobody wants to deal with your sloppy ass. You might think that alcohol and drugs is gonna help the pain subside, but it's A, not, and B, it will also affect the tattoo in ways that you probably didn't even think about. Another good tip is to make sure that you are well fed before your appointment. So don't starve yourself before your appointment, because more than likely you will pass out from the pain and your hunger, and then it's just gonna cause for a tornado of a mess because your emotions are gonna be all over the place and you're gonna be thinking about pizza. Following up with that, you wanna make sure you get some rest the night before. Partying all night long the night before is not the best idea in the world. There are gonna be other nights you can go out and party like a hood rat and let it all hang out, but doing it right before your tattoo appointment is honestly not a very good idea. And lastly, this will take effect differently on different people, but taking breaks is kind of something that I don't personally recommend, but it might work for some people. And this is because the skin has already been broken and it's already swollen. So it's gonna immediately wanna heal itself the minute you stop. And that is exactly what your body is gonna try and do. If your tattoo is anywhere from 2 to 4 hours, sit through it and get it over with. If it's any longer than 4 hours, then a break might be necessary because your tattoo artist is not a machine and they obviously need breaks. And I think that's where I'm gonna end things today on that note. If you guys have any questions, nobody ever does, feel free to leave them in the comment section or find me on Instagram and send me a direct message. Do whatever makes you happy, my friends, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Alternatively, I have one method for you guys that will trump all the rest of them, and that is, don't be a little bitch. Just kidding, that was me. It's because some tattoos, okay, I need you to be quiet for just a little bit. Just a little bit. But it's basically finding a distraction. Why did I say distraction? I said distraction. Is it distraction or distraction? But I pronounced it weird. I said distraction or distraction. Now I'm gonna have trouble saying that word. It's always the littlest things, the littlest. That's not even proper English. Like, I don't understand how I passed high school.